G'day guys, thanks for joining me again today. So I am using the Bella Boulevard You Are My Sunshine. I'm going to say collection, but I've only got a couple of pieces of it. So I bought 2 sheets of this one and 2 sheets of the Sunshine one that you can see there. So if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Karen. I enjoy scrapbooking is to say it's my life. I literally think about it 24/7. I absolutely love. I am a creative person by name and nature, and to say that I am just constantly thinking about my next layout is probably an understatement. I like to come up with different things. I like to scrapbook slightly differently to other people. I don't necessarily always stick to a rule. I don't think that there is any real rules to scrapbooking. If you if you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe and maybe watch another video or two, see if you like my style. I'm just a mum in Queensland, Australia, that puts her whole heart and soul into her scrapbooking, and that's about it. So what are we doing today? So I wanted to have a little bit of a play. So what you can see me doing at the moment, I've just cut up one of the strips. It came in. They sort of look like sentiment strips, but they aren't. They're wider. So I cut them all up, and I'm just having a little play. I had an idea in my head, and I wanted to sort of have a little bit of a play. The green was throwing me off. So I had some green pieces, and it's for me. Okay, I'm not dissing. I never diss any color. All colors, I love them all. This particular green with the photos that I wanted to use, it wasn't going to work. So I'm quite busily at the moment scrapbooking some photos. I went through and printed some photos out, and I've ended up printing out quite a few of my children when they were younger, babies and so on. Now, I don't aspire to the theory that you have to, if you are doing a baby photo, it has to be all, rubber duckies and ABC blocks and rattles, I think that's a very 90s style kind of thing. So I really enjoy bright colours as much as the subdued ones sometimes. I love a good floral, but I really enjoy making things from scratch. So today what I decided to do was I wasn't going to use any mixed media because I've done a lot of mixed media pages, and I realised that a lot of people don't use mixed media, although I have inspired a few people to give it a bit of a crack. So it is, as I say, always, there are no rules. There's happy accidents. There's mistakes that we can cover up, and at the end of the day, it looks like it was meant to be there. So I speed up my videos rather than editing out the process, and I do a voiceover for you. That's how I handle my channel. That's my way of doing it, and that way you feel like when you're watching it, it's not always easy and perfect. It doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes it does, but not always. So as you can see, I've basically cut these strips out, and I want to use them in quite a blocky way. Now at this point, they're still looking very, very generic. So these strips were, as you saw at the beginning, they were all stacked upon each other. Cut them all out. Sizes, now let me think. I think the orange strip on the left hand side is slightly narrower, as is the diagonal candy stripe looking blue one on the right hand side. It totally worked. It wasn't an issue. It was fine, because you got to remember you're putting your photos over these as well. So once you put your photo on top, or your photos, if you're doing 2 photos, 3 photos, whatever, you're creating a background. Now, could I have gone ahead and put some gesso over this, put a bit of mixed media on top? I could have done some hand sewing. I could have done some hand stitching. I could have done some machine stitching. I could have used my stencils and added texture to the page. I could have, instead of putting the blocks down flat like they are, which is very two-dimensional at this stage, I could have roughed up the edges of it and, you know, tried to sort of give it texture that way. Today, though, I wasn't really feeling that. Something that I try and pride myself on with my channel is I want to be able to teach through my channel. So I don't want you guys to be seeing the same regurgitated thing. I don't want you to see the one process used to death, you know. As you can see here, I've got 2 photos. This is my daughter when she was in a jolly jumper back in, let me think, 2009, 2008. Would have been 2008. And at this point I realized, so this is what I call a happy accident, and I leave it in here because I want to show you that there's always a way to do it. Could I have cut the strips and stamped? I decided I wanted to do a little bit of tone-on-tone stamping, because some of these strips have polka dots on them or sunshines on them or whatever, and some of them are quite blank. So they're just a flat colour. So I figured what I would do is I would pull out some floral stickers. Now these stickers are, the brand is called PORTA Craft, P-O-R-T-A Craft. I believe I bought these stamps from the Reject Shop here in Australia, which is a $2 shop. So first things first, I want to tell you, the 2 sheets of paper that the 2 Bella Boulevard sheets that I'm using, in total, it cost me like $4 to get those sheets, right? The stamp that I'm using, I can tell you now, it was like $3. It wasn't much at all. And I'm using Post-it notes to mask off the other areas. Now, you're going to find this amusing. Does everyone remember, anyone that's new to my channel, you won't remember as such, but remember I went through and I created tags with all my, when I committed and bought all the distress inks and all the distress oxides, I actually went through and I cut out tags and I did a swatch of every colour. Do you know I still go to that piece of paper that I did way back? I think it was like the first day or the second day that I had my distress inks, and I swatched them, and it was a printable that I found on the Tim Holtz. It was either the Tim Holtz website or it was Ranger. I can't remember which one it was, but it had all the titles there, so all the names of all the inks. So I just sort of swatched them all out, because with the distress inks, I bought the minis because I really didn't know how often I would use them. And do you know I still reach for that piece of paper, because it's so easy to just fold over and you can see that there's all the colours in that shade. So whether it's like there, you can see all the pinks running into reds, then you can see the greens, you know. I still find that, believe it or not, the easiest way to pick, especially like here, I wanted to do like a tone on tone look, because I didn't want I didn't want the flowers to stand out and overpower. I just wanted to add a pattern to the blank strips. That's all I was doing. Super, super simple. Could you have done it with black ink? Absolutely. Could you have done it? This is me writing my inks down because I was putting them away as I go. So that's my notepad that I keep my notes. So when I'm talking to you guys, I don't have to go and, I can't remember what I used. So I write it down on my notepad, and each notepad fills up with each video that I do, and it's actually quite, you know, that good feeling when you've succeeded, like I don't know, there's something about filling up a notepad, something about, you know, when you get to November and your diary is chock-a-block full of things that you've done throughout the year, you feel accomplished, you feel, I don't know, I might be waffling crap and you guys might be thinking to yourself, seriously? I don't feel like that. I do. I love the feeling of something being completed, whether that's a diary, a notepad, a video, when I promote my bits and pieces here and there. I also want to say, I just want to throw it out there that I never ever want to come across like, one, I know everything. I'm so amazing. I know everything, because that is the biggest load of hogwash. Yes, I've been scrapbooking for nearly 20 years. Does that mean that I know everything? No. Do we forget things? And I'm actually doing, at the moment, I'm actually fussy cutting some flowers, because for tomorrow's page, and it'll be up tomorrow. And what I did after I finished this page, I was really happy with the results. And I thought, you know what? I don't normally do it like that. That's not what I would normally do. I always forget to use my stamps. I've got so many stamps, it's not funny. And do you know, I never reach for them. I don't know why. I absolutely have no idea why I don't reach for them more often. And it's in this situation where you go, actually, this could really work. Now, if you look at that, it's no more busy. It's no more in your face, but I've added interest to those blank strips. So it's something that, what I'm pointing out there is that light blue. I used tumbled glass on that one, and I think I should have used, personally I feel like I could have used a darker colour, but because I wasn't going to go back and attempt to stamp over the top of it, I just left it. And now it looks fine. It absolutely looks fine. So the inks that I used mustard seed. Now these are distress inks, not the oxides. So mustard seed, tumbled glass, picked raspberry, spiced marmalade, mermaid lagoon. They are the ones oh gosh, please, anyone that uses muslin on a layout, this is your opportunity to have a really good laugh, because I've never ever used it. And I placed an order with Uniquely Creative, and it arrived, and I thought, you know what? I see Sue Plum doing this, and she's another Queensland YouTuber, and I see her using it, and she just makes it look so it's meant to be there. It looked perfect. Mine just looked like I picked up a piece of cotton and threw it on it. I couldn't get that to work for nobody's business. So I'm actually going to go out of my way to watch some of Sue's YouTube, because I haven't been watching much YouTube lately. I've been watching other things. And sort of figure out how she uses it, because I don't know what that was, but that was not going to work. Maybe it was the layout. I don't know. but it's okay. The layout turns out fine, but I have since put the muslin back in its packet, and I will figure out how I'm going to use it. Maybe I overstretched it. I don't know. Okay, so at this point, I'm eliminating those green hearts because the green's not working for me. So Ange was in a white onesie and she was in a blue, called a jolly jumper. I don't know if you have them overseas, but we have them here, and you can basically hook your child up to a beam or something very strong, and they can just bounce up and down like a little kangaroo. They absolutely love it, and she loved it. So that's what I'm scrapbooking about, and it actually turned out really good. I'm really, really happy with this. The results are really good. Now, what else can I tell you that I used? Here I'm using, that's just craft foam. I buy it from, if you're an Aussie, I get it from Spotlight. I buy it in a pack, and I like it because it's only 2 mil thick. It's like barely 2 mil thick. So it's not too chunky on my page. And after spending 11 hours on Saturday, 11, yes, you're not hearing things. It took me 11 hours to add the last 6 months worth of scrapbooking pages to the allotted albums. To say that that was not fun at all is a massive understatement. Holy dooly. I was a donkey on the edge by the end of it, let me tell you. I was not happy. But it's okay, it's done now, and will I leave it that long again? Oh, probably. Knowing me, I'm a slow learner. I'll continue to do it like that for sure. Okay, I think I turned it off here because I'm just doing some fussy cutting of those flowers off that strip, because I didn't want them in one strip. I wanted to use them as an embellishment, pretty much. So I sped it up there and I cut them out because I don't normally cut out bits and pieces, but this video is actually 24 minutes long. So if you're still with me, thank you. I seriously appreciate it. And if you have already, or if you're skipping over this bit just to see the end product, that's okay too. I'm here to teach and show what works, what doesn't work, what works for me, what you might like. I also hope that everyone looks at my pages and thinks, oh, yuck, I would never look at, oh, that's not my taste. Oh, I'd never do that. And when you say that, what I hear is you've just saved yourself money. You've just saved your crafting time. One, you've saved time. Two, you've saved money because you've seen how I've done it. And if you go, oh, I like how she did that bit, but not that bit. Okay. Then we both win, because of course I love my pages. Some pages, I don't love them as much as other ones. But as long as we all leave YouTube with the fact that we've learnt something, whether it is how to use a particular product, whether it is the fussy cutting, and you might sit there and you might say, I would never have the patience to do that. You know what? I used to say exactly the same thing. Nah, not fussy cutting. I'll just buy the flowers. It's easier. I actually now find it quite therapeutic to just zone out and just cut out repetitive shapes. I find that really, really relaxing. And I find it's really good for my mental health, to mix things up a little bit. And that's what I did with this page. I do I do really enjoy mixed media. And when I say mixed media, I mean anything from sprays that I've made myself through to Nuvo drops or Ranger. What am I using there? Stickles, Ranger Stickles, and it's called Diamond. Now you see me every so often putting a pin. That's my pin out of my art glitter glue. I shove that up the end of the diamond thing. Now that is not a reflection of the product. Please don't think that when I do that, it's because the product is failing. It's not. I have actually had this bottle of diamond stickles. I've actually had this bottle now for about, I can't tell you how long I've had it. It's been in my collection for a very long time. So to be fair, I probably just need to buy a new one. But I keep persisting because there's still product in it. And I'm not just giving away and chucking away product. That cost me good money. So every so often I shove the pin in the end of it, and yeah, it works. I get a little bit more out each time, and that to me is a win because I haven't had to buy more yet. Although I have bought more. It's just not the diamond one. Tomorrow's video. Oh boy. Do you know what gouache is? There's a question. Pop a yes or a no in the comments below. Do you know what gouache is? I am going full hog into Montmartre heaven. I buy quite a lot of Montmartre stuff actually. And when you're talking about bang for buck, it's great. I bought gouache, Montmartre gouache. I bought probably 3 years ago, maybe longer. And I completely forgot about it. It was just mixed with my other mixed media, with my other paints and all the rest of it. And I thought, after I finished this particular page here, I thought, I need to use something that I haven't used in a long time. Pick a product and make a page using that. So that's what I used. I've used gouache in the next video. So if you want to know how I used it and what products I used, check out tomorrow's video. Okay, so here I'm just adding some doodlebug design shapes. I used winter hugs and rainbow hearts. Just putting a little bit of shine on there. And I did go over my flowers that I fussy cut with a little bit of glossy accents, because we know Karen loves a bit of shine. And just on my little sunshines, I've used the Uniquely Creative glimmer brush. I think it's called a glimmer brush, sparkle brush. And it's just the clear one, just to add a bit more glitter and a bit more interest on the page. And that's it. That's my entire page. I looked awkward doing that, didn't I? It felt awkward too. Don't you worry about that. Okay, so now I'm just going to give you the close-ups without putting my fingers in the wet glossy accents. So as you can see, the stamps, tone on tone, it just gives more interest. So, you know, if you're considering doing something like that in the next couple of days, by all means, pop it in the Facebook group. If you don't know about our Facebook group, the link is below, and we would love to have you over there sharing and or learning from the other ladies. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll chat to you soon, guys. Bye.